What's up, guys? If you've ever wondered if it was worthwhile as an entry-level welder for you to invest in getting a bottle of MIG gas, if it's worth having the bottle around when you're not welding, is it in the way? Is it even worthwhile to have welds done with MIG gas? Are the welds even better? Are they stronger looking? Is it easier? These are the questions I've asked myself, and I've put it off over the last year myself because I didn't want a huge 130 or 120 cubic foot bottle around in my garage when I'm not using it. So I finally pulled the trigger because I do have an upcoming project that's going to have a lot of welds in it, and I figured it was just time to upgrade my setup and start practicing with some MIG gas. So I got a 80 cubic foot bottle of 75% argon, 25% CO2. I ordered it off a welding supply website, mainly because the local air gas and welding supplies, they don't have bottles this size. Can't ever find them. So they will fill them for me, but they don't carry these. They cater mostly to the commercial welder with the big bottles that was much bigger than my needs. So for now, I'm happy with this bottle, 80 cubic feet, and I've got everything set up on this cart here. So today I'm going to be welding a practice welding cube. I've got 6 of these 2x2 plates here, and I'm just going to weld them together. I'm going to do some of the joints with flux core. I'm going to do the rest of them with the MIG gas. So should be able to get a good comparison of how the welds look, how easy they are to weld with or without the gas. And in general, get a good idea of, is it even worth investing $300 into a bottle of MIG gas? Is it worth it? So we're going to find out. All right, so full pass, flux core, 170 on the feed, and 15 volts. All right. So that one is better. I think I'm still too hot, but that's definitely a solidly penetrated weld. Definitely better than the first one. All right, on this one, again, flux core, turn my feed down to 145 and my voltage to 14. Try this one. That felt much better, much more controlled. So that's not bad. That's pretty good looking weld by my standards. I think that's the right setting right there. 14 volts and 145 on the feed speed. But yeah, not bad for flux core. I'm going to do this last side. Actually, I'll do two sides here. This one here with the flux core again, just to get some more practice in. Let's try this again. Got a spark in my glove that was burning me up. Alright, so that's another one. It's not too bad. Plenty strong. Not a lot of porosity. Don't see much at all, really. It's a pretty beefy weld, but I think it looks pretty good considering. So I'm going to do this last side here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do this last side here just for a little bit more practice. And then I'm going to switch over to the MIG gas. I'm actually going to try turning my voltage down just a little bit, 13.5, and my feed down to 135. See if that does any better. Whew. Got a little hot in my glove again. So pretty good, about the same. I think I liked it better with just a little bit hotter, so I'm going to leave it back up here at the 14 volts, but the feed at 135. That's not too bad. Now let's go to some MIG gas. Alright, so we've got the MIG gas bottle set up, got gas flowing. I've switched over to the solid wire in the welder. The settings I am going to use right now are based off of what the inside label of the machine suggested, as well as a video I saw before about their settings. So what I'm using is 170 on the wire speed and 15.2 on the volts. Let's see what happens here. It's my first time welding anything with gas, so let's see how much easier it is. Okay, That's a lot better. That is so much easier to see where my puddle was, because I didn't have everything popping and shooting out at me like on the Flux core. But that is not bad. Might be able to clean it up a little bit. Heat looks good. That actually, I think, looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next one now. Alright, so on that one I was trying to go in a kind of a circular loopy pattern to try to walk the puddle down. And again, I mean, I think this weld turned out really good. Yeah, it's already much cleaner. Much cleaner than with the Flux core. Just for comparison, let's see. That is with MIG gas, and that is with the Flux core. Pretty cool. For what it's worth, this was also Flux core. That's probably my best one that I did. But this is much better. So I'm going to weld this last piece on here. I'm actually, just so I can get it kind of straight here, I'm just going to put a tack to hold it. Like that. And then let's go all the way down. Try. So that was going good. I lost sight of my joint. Looks pretty good. Let's hit up this last side. So this is the last edge I've got. I'm going to try to finish this off nicely. Probably would help if I had my ground clamp on. All right, so I was wrong. I've got one side left here. I'm gonna hit this. I'm actually gonna turn my wire speed up to 185. So I'm at 185 on the wire speed, 15.2 on the voltage. Let's see if that makes any difference here. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm shorted a little bit on the corner here. Final thoughts. I've done my test with the flux core, and honestly, after just playing with the settings a little bit, I was pretty happy with how the flux core came out. They're not the prettiest welds, but they're not the worst. I've done much worse before. The flux core does leave a lot of spatter all over the metal, so that's annoying. That would have to be cleaned up. There's a lot of it. There with the MIG and gas, there's virtually none. So that's a big difference. Makes your cleanup a lot easier. Overall, the gas was super easy to use. I didn't change the settings all that much, but played around with it a little bit. But overall, using gas for me, it made it a lot easier to see where I was going with the metal, where I was in the joint, and where I could move that puddle where I wanted. So I was trying to get some that roll of dimes kind of look, but not quite there yet. It's not the most important thing, but I think these are good. They're much better looking welds. They're definitely stronger, a lot less porosity in them just from even just visually looking at them. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how that worked. For my what I'm doing, I think I think it was worth getting the bottle. It's it was about $300 just for the tank and the gas. But for me, I think it's worth it. For you, it's it depends on how much you really are using your welder. I mean, and how much grinding and cleanup you want to do. If you're not doing a whole lot, I think you can really get the flux core dialed in to the right settings and probably do some really good welds for a lot less money. But if you really want to step up to the next level and or just make it easier on yourself, because with gas it is definitely easier to get better looking welds and stronger welds, then I'd recommend going with the gas. It just depends on how much you're welding and what you really want to get out of it. You can definitely get good welds, good strong welds with flux core, but you know, you're going to have to grind it a little bit, polish it up. You're going to have the spatter that you have to deal with, but that's all part of it. So pros and cons on both sides. Me, I'm happy to have the gas. I think it's a big improvement for what I'm doing, and I'm looking forward to my next project where I get to do a whole lot more welding and hopefully see my skills kind of develop over the course of that project, so I can get to that point of really good looking, you know, roll of dimes kind of welds. But we'll see. We'll see how that project goes with that. But overall, I'm happy. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.